Hello everyone and good morning. This is Rachel live from 𝐊𝐴𝐺𝐲 Studios and you're watching the opening bell. Let us cast an eye now over how market charter is panning out today. The ASX 200 opened 0.5% up today following the US market rally overnight. The top performing stocks in this index are tech players, Technology One and Hub24. Following significant tech gains on the Wall Street, Appen, WiseTech Global and Afterpay also inched up. Technology One also reported a 48% rise in profit after tax of $28 million for the first half of the 2021 financial year. Gold players such as Gold Resources, Ramelius Resources and Westgold Resources are the leading laggards. This is despite gold prices inching higher on Monday as a weaker dollar and lower US Treasury yields bolstered its appeal. On Monday, the benchmark index started the week positively, closing 0.22% higher at 7,046. That's after having a range-bound session during the day. Today, Australian shares are set to be supported by a rally in the US stock market overnight. This rally has been supported by gains in technology shares after investors regained a risk appetite and kept inflation worries on the sidelines for the time being. On Monday, global equities charged higher while the US dollar hovered around a 4-month low against major currencies as investors are eyeing upcoming US inflation readings for guidance on the monetary policy. Investors are gearing up for the US personal consumption data set to be released this week on Thursday. The Fed's preferred inflation measure and a potential tapering of asset purchases in the face of strong economic data. Australian technology shares such as Xero, 𝐊𝐴𝐺𝐸 and Afterpay will be under the spotlight today after a remarkable rally in the tech-heavy Nasdaq composite on Monday. Australian tech shares are expected to play the catch-up game. Moving on now to oil prices. They edged higher on Monday as increased COVID-19 vaccination drives gave market participants an optimism that the market can absorb any supply of Iranian oil that could come into the market if Western talks with Tehran materialised to the lifting of sanctions. Australian energy producers such as Santos, Woodside Petroleum and Viva Energy could catch up with the rally in oil prices. Now let's look at the yellow metal space. Gold prices inched higher on Monday as a weaker dollar and lower US Treasury yields bolstered its appeal. Australian gold miners such as Newcrest Mining, Gold Resources, Ramelius Resources and De Grey Mining, along with Resolute Mining, could trade with an upward bias today. Let us move on now to the miners space. Asia's iron ore futures fell again on Monday, leading to another round of selling in the metals sector. That's after China warned against commodity price manipulation and vowed to halt speculation trading. On Monday, the most actively traded iron ore futures contract for September delivery month on China's Dalian Commodity Exchange ended daytime trading 5.2% lower at $165 per tonne. Australian miners to keep under the watch list for today are Rio Tinto, Fortescue Metals and the BHP Group. Moving on now, let us take a glance at the US market performance last week. On Friday, the majority of the US stocks ended lower with consumer discretionary on Wall Street and the Dow Jones increased by 0.54% while the S&P 500 gained 0.99%. The Nasdaq Composite gained the most at 1.41% after a robust growth depicted by Friday's surveys of the global services sectors. Investors will keenly watch the US personal consumption and inflation figures this week. High core inflation reading could revive talk of an early tapering by the central bank. Moving on to the currency space now, the dollar index traded near 4-month lows as bets on a robust global economic recovery continue to support currencies seen as riskier. The dollar closed slightly below the 90 mark, down 0.2%, but was slightly above a 4-month low of 89.646 hit on Friday. The Australian dollar traded near the lower end of its range since mid-April against the greenback on Monday, as the country's central bank is seen lagging global peers in tightening monetary policy despite a strong economic recovery. The commodity price sensitive currency, the Australian dollar, closed the session 0.33% up on Monday at 77.52 cents. Let us zoom our lens now on the bond yields. On Monday, the Treasury long-dated yields dropped to a 2-week low, while safe haven gold inched higher after a few Fed officials affirmed their support in favour of keeping monetary policy accommodative for some time now. The US Treasury yield curve flattened for a second consecutive session on Monday, reflecting the Fed's dovish stance. The US 10-year Treasury yield dropped lower to 1.604%, from 1.62% on Monday. And now, before I move to the next updates from crypto and also share some important announcements from ASX listed stocks, it's time for a quick break. Stay tuned.
At 𝐊𝐿𝐴N TV, we'll take you to the heart of the Australian equity market. We'll bring you breakthrough stories that highlight volatility, as well as tailwinds building across the length and breadth of markets. Whether space travel will gain momentum, while economies may gradually open amid vaccine rollouts, our experts will share their timely inputs. So join us on this exciting journey of live streaming financial and stock market news. 𝐊𝐿𝐴N TV.
And welcome back. This is Rachel live from 𝐊𝐴N Studios in Sydney, and you're watching The Opening Bell. We're discussing the market open right now. Let us look at the crypto charter. Cryptocurrencies took a sharp reversal from the lower levels hit on Sunday. Digital currency seems to be regaining ground lost during the weekend panic selling that was sparked by renewed signs of a Chinese crackdown on the mining and trading of Bitcoin. Bitcoin was last up 12.8% to approximately $39,210, erasing all the losses from a day earlier. The second largest cryptocurrency, Ether, jumped around 26% to $2,646 after slumping more than 8% on Sunday to near a 2-month low. Dogecoin also recovered 17% from Sunday's closing to 35.88 US cents. Bitcoin added to its gains late on Monday following tweets from billionaire Elon Musk that appeared to soften his stance against the environmental impact of the cryptocurrency. Musk said on the 12th of May that Tesla will no longer accept Bitcoin due to its consumption of fossil fuels during the mining process. He wrote that he spoke with North American Bitcoin miners and they committed to publish current and planned renewable usage and to ask miners worldwide to do so. He also wrote that this was potentially promising. Moving on now, let us look at the major newsmakers in the Australian share market today. The first big news comes from financial player Plenti Group after they stated its loan organisation's origination surged 64% year on year to $470 million, while the loan book hit $615 million. That's up 61% year on year in the financial year 2021. The revenue also soared to 28%. The Plenti Group provides a technology-led consumer lending and investing platform in Australia. Next, Viva Leisure updated the market on its projected financial year 2021 results and said that it expects revenue in the range of $81 million to $83 million. That's a rise of 26% to 31% on the first half. Viva Leisure operates health clubs, gymnasiums within the health and leisure industry. Moving on now, Australia's largest enterprise software as a service company, Technology One, reported a 48% rise in profit after tax of $28 million for the first half of the 2021 financial year. The profit rose as company's software as a service annual recurring revenue soared 41% to $156 million. Next update worth looking at is from Airtasker, a Sydney-based company which provides an online mobile marketplace, enabling users to outsource everyday tasks. Airtasker says that it has raised roughly $21 million from its share placement to institutional, sophisticated and professional investors. Australia's largest tin producer, Metals X, has signed a binding term sheet with Nico Resources for the sale and spin-off of its nickel assets. Now stay tuned for more live updates from 𝐊𝐴𝐴 TV across the economy, markets and sectors. I'm Rachel, signing off for now.